They're very athletic. They can really get you on the glass. The two guys that lead them in scoring, Thomas and Coach Ziegler's son, are both very good players, very talented scorers. They have great size. Thomas is like 6'4", 230 of all muscle. So if you put a guard on him, he can score down low. If you put more of a bigger guy on him, he can take you on the perimeter. And then Ziegler is about 6'5" and can drive it right, can jump up over you and shoot it. And then they have some other guys that are talented, and they get out, they pressure, they try to force turnovers. They'll play some junk defenses. They'll play some triangle and two. So they make you prepare for that. It's a challenge. I think you just you take it for what it is. Certainly give Tusculum credit for the way they played. Give our guys credit for finding a way to win. But we just came back to practicing, are trying to continue to improve. We have to get better defensively, and then I want our motion to have better flow. We have talented guys that want to score too quickly, and that doesn't make the defense work. I told them, the one thing that the Tusculum game should have taught us is it's not fun to play 30 seconds of defense and only 10 seconds of offense. We got to do a little better job of time of possession with the ball to make other teams have to work a little harder when they defend us. No question, and we all have to do a better job. Coaches, players, thank goodness we're turning teams over at such a high rate. But I think we will improve with our field goal percentage defense. I think we'll do a better job. It starts with guarding the ball. We get beat one-on-one too much guarding the ball, and that's where it begins. That'll be a challenge with Central Michigan. They have guys that can put their head down. I think there have been some games, to be honest with you, where teams have made some shots, and we watch them on film, and there's shots that you can't guard. And so there's some of that. It's a lot of things. I think it's some of that. I think it's some of the teams we've played and their styles, the talent level of the teams that we've played at different times, and that while we force our turnovers, I think the one thing is we're doing a bad job of we go for too many steals and it takes us out of position, and that's something we have to correct. We've got to do a better job of going for steals and getting them, or making the decision not to go for the steal so we don't take ourselves out of position.
It's tough to do.
I think winning on the road it's obviously more of a challenge. It's great. The Nutter Center, our fans, our support, being at home helps, especially with a younger team. Obviously we've got the 4 seniors, but then everybody else is really relatively new. So winning on the road is a little bit more challenging, but it's also excuse making. It's not something I've talked about at all with the guys, to be honest with you. We handle preparation like we always do. Maybe it's a blessing that the snow has cleared a little bit, so it should take us what it would normally take us to get up there. But you just have to focus on what your job is as a player and not think about the things you can't control. You can't control that the game is on the road. You can't control the way the officials are going to call it. You can adjust your game to the officiating, and then you can have your game ready, whether it's Central Michigan on the road or at Wright State. It doesn't matter. It's, if you want to quote the Gene Hackman from Hoosiers, the basket's still 10 feet high, the free throw line, the three-point line are still the same distance as they are at the Nutter Center. So it doesn't change. They do. They have most teams in the MAC play very, very physical. Certainly we're going to get that with both teams that we play in Central and Miami. And then they have good inside play, they rebound, and they really try to guard you. They really try to get physical contact, bump you off cuts, bump you off screens. And if you're not ready for a physical fight, you're going to be in trouble.